I want to start this important video with failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. This is how you should think after taking a loss on a trade, or a strategy just stops working out for you. Before you just bail and start something new, you have to remember this quote. Think of indicators and strategies like a golf club, and the stock market is the golf course. You're going to use a different golf club when the ball is in a sand trap versus when you are teeing off, right? Well, the same thing happens with the stock market. The hardest part is choosing if you should change the golf club or not. Something else to remember is the markets will always go back, meaning the golf ball will always go back on the grass to start the next game, where your strategy worked best. So you have to choose. Do I switch things up to hit the ball out of the sand trap? Or do I not hit the ball for a bit and just wait for the next game where the ball starts back on the grass, where you know how to hit the ball? This is a very common problem among new traders. They create a system that works. Then when it doesn't work, they completely switch strategies. Then they end up swinging with the wrong club in the wrong spot. For this reason, I recommend sticking to one strategy until you know it 100% perfectly. Think of the quote by Bruce Lee, "I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times." So don't just completely bag the system you have created. Keep practicing it. Keep working on it. I know what it's like to want to switch strategies over and over and over because I did that. I was one that kept moving from strategy to strategy, never mastering one. As soon as I mastered one strategy, everything changed. Now I can add to that strategy by doing different strategies, but I still have my one main core strategy that I trade day in and day out. I know the ins and outs of it. If I struggle with trading for a period of time, it's time to take a step back, wait for the game to reset, and go back to the basics. Start tweaking little things to match the market. Most likely, if your strategy isn't working, either the markets are different, so it needs to be tweaked, or you have started to have a lack of patience and discipline with your strategy. In short, choose one strategy and stick to it until it's perfect. Then add another strategy to your bucket of strategies later. With that said, I am not saying to stick with a strategy that isn't working at all. Stick to one that proves it has potential and fits your personality. Don't stick to one that is not you and is not working for you. There are plenty of reasons a strategy might not work, from too many false signals with a certain indicator, or it's physically too fast for you to be making those decisions. So maybe you do need to change something because it is not fitting your personality. Now, most traders fail because of everything I've talked about in the psychology section. It's usually not because of a strategy. It is because the trader is lacking discipline or feeling FOMO, not following their own plan. There are tons of things, but try to figure out what's not working for you with the strategy. But try your best to stick to it and master that strategy. Another common problem with a strategy is if you are getting overwhelmed. If you are overwhelmed, you might need to switch strategies or just tone it down a bit. There are a few ways to do this. Maybe by setting stop orders and forgetting about the trade. Or maybe you have too many monitors and too much flashing at you at the same time. Maybe you are watching too many indicators. It's just confusing you. Start to weed out the things that are overcomplicating your trading and your trading strategy. For me personally, I've really toned down the number of indicators that are on my charts. There are tons of solutions to help you not get overwhelmed. In summary, once you have picked an edge and a strategy, you need to stick to it for some time. Only stick to it if you see potential in the strategy and it fits your personality. If you do not see potential in the strategy, then move on. Try to find something else that fits better for you. Lastly, don't get overwhelmed. Don't try to watch every single tick and every single thing. So stick to the strategy and test it and master it. And I'll see you in the next video.